That video was fun to watch. Let's see what else we can do with the tablet to foster interest in reading and literacy. The first thing we have to do is to figure out what's going on here. This is a very savvy strategy. Many children have never heard the sound of their own voice. Aside from the novelty and the fun of hearing yourself read, some very interesting things are taking place in the brain. We know that the most efficient way for children or anyone to learn is to activate visual, motor, and auditory brain cortex areas at the same time. By adding the auditory component, an entirely different area of the brain lights up. Students are double and triple processing here. When they record, they move their fingers along with the words they are seeing. When they listen to their own voice and follow the words at the same time they are listening, moving their fingers along the line of text, they are creating new neural pathways, not only for the text they are reading, but for the process of reading in general. One very interesting study you might like to read was done by Barbara McClanahan and colleagues from Southeastern Oklahoma State University and Swink, Oklahoma Public Schools. You will find the article as a PDF in resources for this lesson. Part of the work was done to allow Josh to hear himself read. Just think of the applications of this strategy in English language learners. Scaffolding reading comprehension is not always easy. Tablets provide multiple ways to build reading comprehension in all levels of learners. Remember, the more ways we engage our learners, the stronger the learning. Tablets also provide innovative ways for teachers to assess comprehension. One teacher in the 2012-2013 Innovation Grant presentations from Canby, Oregon, used an innovative strategy for assessment. Jennifer Cherkes challenged her students to demonstrate their understanding of a selected story and to demonstrate their listening and speaking skills as well, when she required her students to create a radio drama to convey the story to their audience. You can already see how much of this idea maps on to our own state standards. Let's look at Mrs. Cherkes' game plan. Her students collaborated to accomplish the following tasks. They selected a story. They adapted the story into scripts, focusing on conveying plot, character, and setting. They recorded the scripts, including both voice track and sound effects, using GarageBand, and they edited the recording to polish the final product. So what did her students think about this? Overall, it was cool. Students were very enthusiastic about the project, but even better was their self-evaluation of their learning process. You can see the whole story in Mrs. Cherkes' presentation in PDF format in the resource section for this lesson. But wait, there's more. Hang on, we're not finished. We have some more ideas for you. Using a tablet can take writing to a whole new level. As part of literacy instruction, writing is often the hardest to achieve in our students. Students can take handwritten notes, they can draw diagrams and web ideas with a note-taking app such as Bamboo Paper or Penultimate. There are also mind mapping, concept mapping, and graphic organizer apps. These applications do much more than just provide playtime. They foster higher order thinking as well as facilitate collaboration. What you see on the screen is an example of Penultimate and Poplet Lite. To expand literacy skills, a tablet is effective for encouraging writing in many formats. Cloud services such as Google Docs and websites like Storybird can be used with tablets for all kinds of student writing and publishing. Collaborative stories and other collaborative writing activities can be as simple as passing a tablet from student to student. Apps such as Little Story Creator, BookPress, and StoryKit can be used to create simple ebooks. You have Storybird and Little Story Creator as examples on your screen. One way to allow your students to demonstrate their comprehension of assigned reading is by letting them create graphic representations of what they know with cartoons or even graphic novels, better known as comic books. Okay, I hear the snicker. But seriously, folks, graphic representation of knowledge allows a whole new level of creativity. The comic on your screen was created with Pixton, a program that is cross-platform. Use it on a PC or Mac or on mobile devices. Do you have a student in your room who is bored and disruptive? Give that student a project to create using Pixton or even Scratch, a cross-platform application developed by MIT to teach programming. The catch is the programming is done with building blocks that look like Legos. Projects for beginners look like cartoons, while students with more advanced Scratch skills can create video games that demonstrate content knowledge. Check it out at scratch.mit.edu. While we can't cover many of the applications available, there are a few you might like to investigate. To create cartoons and comic strips, Toondoo has a free subscription level, while Pixton is a purchased program. Both are easily accessible to young learners just displaying their content knowledge, while advanced learners can use the more advanced features to display what they really know. Scratch is another application which is free from MIT. We discussed that in the last slide. Another one is a website called readwritethink.org. This is a free comic creator for the classroom computer or your computer at home. Create comics on your class computer or load it on an iPad or Android. However you use it, you can display it on an interactive whiteboard for all class collaboration. Have you hugged your tablet computer today? If not, give your Android or your iPad a hug. They can be good friends in the classroom. This is an effective point to stop and reevaluate some instruction you have already developed for teaching reading, writing, and listening, the primary literacy skills. What could you do better with a tablet? How can you increase student motivation and engagement in learning? Could you create radio dramas with just one tablet computer in the classroom? Yes! You can even create mini plays and capture them with a video function. What if your students wrote original plays? What if your students composed original music or artwork? What if? The possibilities are limited only by your own creativity.